감사 계약서 작성 및 공유.
I've been told that we won the contract for the audit of ABC Corp. Details have already been settled.
Oh really? That's good news. What can I help you with?
This is the draft of the audit contract. I've already gone through this, but just in case, could you also go over it and let me know if there's anything misleading? There may be some typos. As I started off from the standard template, I hope there is nothing strange.
Okay. When should this be finished by?
No need to hurry. Just have it done during this week and let me know when you're done. If everything seems to be fine, you can just seal between pages of the contract and send it to the client.
What do you mean by sealing between pages?
What I mean by that is that you need to put stamp between sheets of paper. Print out 2 copies of the contract, put them side by side, seal between pages, send them to the client. Then, the client will do the same with their seal, keep 1 copy, and will send the other copy back to us. This process will ensure that we and the client will have exactly the same copy of the contract.
Oh, I see. I'll seal between pages and will show them to you, to make sure.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. A. 프로젝트 코드 생성.
The audit contract for the 3-year period FY 201,618 of the ABC Corp. has been finalized. Could you request the project code for me?
Is the company listed or non-listed? What about the amount of the contract?
The company is listed and don't remember exactly what amount the contract was. Let me look it up as I have the contract myself. I think it was 20 million Korean won every year. If you submit the request today, the code will be created within a week. Engagement partner is Bong, and for the manager, you can put me in.
How many hours should I put in for the estimated input time?
Well, I think 200 hours in total would be okay. If you could allocate 10 hours for the partner, 20 hours for the director, 50 hours for the manager and the rest for the staff, that'd be fine.
As for the parent department, assurance department, 5 that we are in seems to be right. Are there any members from another department who are joining us?
No, there are none from another department.
Okay. I will fill out the form and submit it to Ms. Lee in admin team.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 3. 프로젝트 DB 생성.
Just got a mail that the project code for the ABC Corp. has been created. Nice job.
Wasn't a big deal at all.
Now we're done with creating the project code. Could you create the project database? Log on to the DB. Go to the Create New Project DB. And you will be able to find the new project code that has just been created. Name the DB as ABC Corporation 1612, as its fiscal year ends at the end of December.
Sure.
Oh, I almost forgot. Attach also the audit contract on the planning section of the DB.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 4. 프로젝트 팀 구성.
We need some staff to be assigned for this new project.
Yeah. You mean the due diligence that amounts to 50 million Korean won?
Right. It has to start right away from next week onwards, and it concerns me that we are short of people. We'll need to work for about 10 days 247. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I'm afraid I won't be available. I'm off on a business trip to Incheon with Phil for a week starting tomorrow. I think Sarah, who has been working with me till yesterday, looks available, and having gone through the schedule plan a moment ago, it looks like Chulsu has the time to help you out.
Really? Why didn't I spot anyone while I was going through? Sounds great anyway. Sarah is the person for this job, as he was a member of a similar project last month. Chulsu is a member of a new staff, but I should be able to walk him through. Let me reach out to them.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 5. 팀 멤버 어사인 전화 어사인 수락.
Hello? Hi Sarah. This is Phil.
Hello Phil. How are you?
Good, thanks. Are you available for about 10 days starting from next Monday?
Let me see. I need to visit one of my clients in Yeouido next Wednesday afternoon for a while, giving them a training session. I have no other assignments outside of that.
Well, the due diligence for the DGF Corporation is to start next Monday, and is it okay if you could be a part of the team?
Sure, I'd love to be. I still need to be at another client site next Wednesday afternoon for a while, though. Is that okay?
That certainly sounds all right. Let me email you on the details. Thanks in advance.
Thanks, Phil. Bye bye.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 6. 팀 멤버 어사인 전화 어사인 거절.
Hello? Hi Minho. This is Katie.
Hi Katie, how are you?
I've been pretty busy these days but I'm still doing okay. By the way, just wanted to check your schedule. Are you free for 2 days from tomorrow, which is Wednesday to Thursday?
Pardon? Oh, I'm in a rush working on something at the moment. This needs to be done by this week.
Oh really? What company are you working on? And which manager are you working with?
The company is called Shotgun Enterprise. The client wants me to do a quick research on something, and I started working on gathering data for them this morning as I've been told by my partner Bong.
The schedule sheet shows that you are available this week, though.
Well, Bong told me that he would book me on the schedule sheet until Friday this week. He might have forgotten it, or the booking may have not gone through yet. It'd be very nice if I could help you out, but I'm afraid it doesn't seem to be possible this week.
Oh I see. Let me talk to Bong then. I really need to work on something for the next 2 days and I desperately need your help. Thanks, anyway.
Thanks Katie. Bye bye.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 7. 어사인 컨플릭트 조정 요청.
Hi Minho. This is Sarah.
Hi Sarah, how have you been?
Good. I'm calling about the audit field work of A corporations expected to start in 2 weeks' time. According to the schedule sheet, I have been double booked with FF corporations at that time. It seems right to me to let you know about this. What do you think I need to do?
Yes, you are right. I've just noticed what's going on. I really need you for this assignment. I see what you mean. I'll reach out to Phil who's in charge of FF corporations.
Okay. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll discuss this with Phil and we'll let you know how we'll move on.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 8. 어사인 컨플릭트 상황 해결 업무 중복 조정 협의.
Hi Katie, this is Minho. Looks like you made a call?
Hey Minho. Katie here.
How have you been?
I called to talk about the job on Pokeball Corporation scheduled to start on the 3rd week of January. The schedule sheet now shows that Sarah is booked for Pokeball for those 5 days in that week and I'm afraid to ask you to release her from that project.
What? What is this regarding? As you know, we have been designated by Financial Supervisory Service to audit Pokeball this year. And there are tons of issues that need to be resolved. Sarah has to work on the going concern issue and other related significant accounts.
I understand where you're coming from. But there's a new service project to be kicked off in that week. Sarah is deemed to be the right person for the job and that's why I'm asking you.
It'd be just too hard for me to audit Pokepal without Sarah. There doesn't seem to be any replacement, either. I heard recently that about 5 staff members from another department are to be utilized during the busy season. Could you arrange one of them to work at Pokepal with me?
We are in the middle of discussing it with Assurance Department 7. Getting 5 members to our side looks difficult. Only about 3 will work out. We hope to come to a conclusion early next week and it will be announced then.
Okay. Could I ask you to book a member for me who is the most experienced out of the 3? I can hardly get to sleep these days worrying about Pokeball, seriously.
Right. I'll do the best I can to find someone for you. Well then, Sarah will be released from Pokeball on the 3rd week of January and will get involved in another project. Take care.
Okay, thanks.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 9. 고객과 일정 협의.
Hello? This is Minho Park from Best Accounting Corporation. I'm trying to get a hold of Ms. Claire Woods.
Yes. This is she.
Hello Claire. I'm Minho Park and will be working as the lead manager for the audit of Pokeball Corporation. I would like to start off the audit by paying a visit to your site. When would be the best time for you? I think one day during next week or the week after that would be fine.
Hi Minho. I heard about you from the CEO. Could you drop by sometime on next Wednesday and have a cup of tea with us?
Well, let me see. What if I come around at about 10 o'clock in the morning? I will prepare a brief agenda regarding the progress of the audit.
Sounds great. Is there anything you want me to prepare upon your visit?
No, I don't think there is any. It'd be nice if I'd be able to introduce myself even to the CEO, though.
Okay. I'll let him know that you'll be around then. See you next Wednesday morning.
Great. Thanks and bye-bye.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 10. 감사계획 수립 킥오프 미팅.
Good morning everyone. Thank you for your time for being here today. The purpose of this kickoff meeting is to share potential issues and discuss audit strategies and job assignments in performing the audit for the Dynamite Corp.
Could you give us a brief rundown on the last year's main issues?
Last year's main issues were accounting for retirement benefit plans, accounting for deposits and validating the existence of loans. Fortunately enough, these three issues were dealt with by the company very fairly and we were able to gain sufficient audit evidence as to what the company did. This year the issues that are deemed to be crucial are the distinction of operating cash flows, distinction between liquid and non-liquid items and the propriety of accrual rate computation. Unexpectedly, these issues agree to those that the Financial Supervisory Service have announced as focus areas of examination. We need to keep a close eye on these issues and approach them more carefully than ever.
How are you going to plan the audit strategies?
For the operating cash flows, we're planning to verify especially the distinction between operating and financing activity cash flows. For the liquid and non-liquid items, as it's a must to find out the maturity of assets and liabilities by each item. We plan to guide the client to have the maturity data ready, and we will follow up on them. For the accrual rate computation, as there is an incentive for the overestimation of the accrual rate, we will need to verify intensively whether actual costs incurred have not been overestimated and total construction estimate costs have not been underestimated.
Sounds good. It looks like you guys will need a lot of time to get the job done on time. How many staff members will be involved in this audit and how long do you expect to work at the site?
Due to extended procedures that need to be taken this year compared to those last year, it is deemed that an extra 2 working day extension from last year's 5 days, amounting to 7 days, will be necessary. The client does not want us to stay any longer than 5 days, though. But I'm trying my best in persuading them to let us stay longer. 6 full-time members including myself, as the lead manager, are planned to stay at the site.
Booking 6 team members full-time for 7 days during the year-end audit period does not look easy. But make sure that you take appropriate measures to secure our members in advance.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 11. 중요성 설정.
Minho, it looks like materiality needs to be determined.
Right. Think we need to come up with an appropriate benchmark in determining materiality for the financial statements as a whole. 5% of profit before tax is generally used as materiality for the financial statements as a whole. What's your opinion on this, Sarah?
This company was established in April last year, and business-wise as of beginning of February this year, nothing much has happened so far. The company claims that it is expected to supply goods to the Chinese market from this summer. Still, it doesn't seem to be appropriate to choose the benchmark as profit before tax. As the company is at an investment stage as of end of December, the date of the financial statements.
I'm with you. Even if 5% of profit before tax is widely used, 0.5% of whole assets as illustrated in the best guidance, would be more appropriate.
All right, I will do so. For performance materiality, 25% discount will be made and it will be determined at 75% level of the materiality for the financial statements as a whole.
Okay. Sarah, could you finish off the materiality template and share it with the rest of the team, please?
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해주세요. 12. 위험평가 절차.
Looks like we need to have an understanding of the entity and its environment regarding the audit of Acming. We're having a meeting with the client next week, and this needs to be included into the meeting material.
Yes. I'll look up the news on the internet and perform a risk assessment analysis based on the figures disclosed in the DART site.
First of all, as we've already obtained the closing data as of end of February, could you start off the analytical review by comparing these to the disclosed ones as of December 31st, last year? Please do what you can, and for the items that require more explanation, We may ask the client upon visit.
Okay. Could you forward the mail with the February data?
Sure. Bear in mind that these numbers are provisional and make sure that they don't get spilled out.
Yes, I'll take that into account. I'll let you know once I'm ready.
Okay. Talk to you again tomorrow.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 13. 계정 과목별 업무 배분 어사인.
As a result of the preliminary risk assessment, sales and property plant and equipment PP&E have been identified as key risks. Minho, you seem to be the right person for sales. Extra attention should be given to revenue recognition and cutoff, as the percentage of sales at the year-end is deemed to be enormous.
I agree. I'll find out who the main contact point for sales is in advance and will perform an in-depth interview when I'll be visiting them soon.
Who do you think should work on PP&E?
I think Sarah Kim would be good for the job. She joined us recently as an experienced senior, having already worked for another accounting firm. I understand that she had experiences in the related industry for about 2 years. I happened to hear this in the last get-together.
Really? She is an experience hire, and is that why she's been working late very often these days? I wonder how well she will cope with this.
I believe that she will do a great job. She has a very good reputation among my teammates who joined the firm at the same time with me. I heard that she's a bulldog and never gives up on anything.
Alright, let's have Sarah work on PP&E.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 14. 스페셜러스트 혹은 엑스퍼트의 참여 여부 고려.
For this company, most customer orders are processed automatically online. As understanding the IT environment is essential, we need to grasp the order process of the client thoroughly by interviewing the person in charge in the upcoming interim audit.
Yes, I think it'd be good to use the work of Mr. Kong from the IT Assurance Division. I once worked with him last year. The IT environment of the client was very complicated then, and Mr. Kong helped out a lot in doing the interviews with the client and also in documentation, as he is very knowledgeable in the IT area.
Ring him up for help then. By the way, it looks like the client has loss carried forward and has many kinds of tax adjustments. Tax area doesn't seem to be easy to handle. What do you think?
I went through this and I think Mr. Lee from Tax Department 3 is the right person for the job, especially on tax issues in this industry. But it was found out that he put excessive hours into the time report. And I remember spending a lot of time talking to him on the phone to have him the hours reduced.
Oh, come on. No one should be doing that. We are on a very tight budget. Did it work out well with him? We surely don't want to go through that again.
Yes, he eventually changed his hours into something that looked appropriate. I'll communicate with Mr. Lee verbally on this, making sure that he doesn't come up with outrageous hours this time.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 15. 자료 준비 여부 확인.
Hi Claire. This is Minho from Best. How are you doing?
Oh, hi Minho. I've been quite busy these days, overwhelmed with lot of work to do. How have you been doing? Did you have a nice time during the year-end holidays?
Yeah, I managed to take some time off and spent a few days in Guam. The weather was just fabulous. By the way, I was wondering how you were getting along with the data we requested earlier on regarding the audit scheduled next week.
We are in the middle of confirming the exact amount of the account receivables and payables with our debtors and creditors. That's why the financial statements aren't finalized yet. We may have to work even in the weekend to get this done. We hope to have the finalized numbers by next Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, really? That's not too bad. I remember having the finalized financial statements about a week later than this time last year.
Right. I think we are on a smooth move at closing, as our working level staff took training courses at Best Accounting Corporation. The staff seem to have been very pleased and impressed with the training. Appreciate your recommendations once again.
No problem at all. Let me reach out to you once again next Monday or Tuesday, then. If the financials happen to be ready any time before that, it'd be grateful if you could send them over to me via email.
Sure. Have a nice weekend.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 16. 금융기관조에서 준비 및 발송.
External confirmations need to be sent out on Pokeball Corporation. First of all, could you please open up the last year's control sheet? As you may see, approximately 30 confirmations to financial institutions and 5 confirmations to legal counsels were sent out. According to the updated control sheet obtained a couple of days ago, there are 32 and 6 each.
Yes. I've gone over this. 2 and 4 new financial institutions were included and 2 excluded. There was 1 new legal counsel the client came into contact with.
Could you find out why those 2 have been excluded? It looks like the client had no transactions with them throughout the year. Please also compare the items to the financial institutions list provided by Korea Federation of Banks KFB. Make sure that all financial institutions listed by KFB are included on the control sheet.
Okay. I'll look up what the responses were last year from those 2 excluded. I'll double-check whether there really have been no transactions between them and the client.
Go get those confirmations from last year in the vault room and let me see those too. And sorry for the trouble, but could you check whether the address and person who is addressed to are correct by phoning up the financial institutions and legal counsels? We need to put in some extra effort to save the confirmations from returning back to us. Thanks.
Oh, okay. May I let the interns do this?
Yes, you may. We'll talk again the day after tomorrow. By the way, Kookmin Bank and Industrial Bank of Korea are included, and we need to do an electronic confirmation on these confirming parties. Some financial institutions do not respond by mail but only online, and these 2 banks seem to be applicable.
Right. Could you walk me through on that?
First, visit the Korea Financial Telecommunications and Clearings Institute KFTC system and sign up. Walk the client through as they need to sign up too. Do let the client exactly know which financial institutions included in the control sheet are applicable for online confirmations. You should request the client to have the reader of the confirmation designated under your name. The client will do as such. And you will receive a notification under the form of issuance request for bank confirmation.
Yes.
And then, if you log on to the KFTC system once again, fill out the required fields and pay the commissions, you'll be able to read the confirmations.
Okay. I'll ask you again if I get stuck doing this.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 17. 자회사 감사인의 감사지침서 오딧 인스트럭션 발송.
As you see on the breakdown of assets, 80% of the client's assets is the equity instrument holding 100% shares of Corporate B. Auditors of Corporate B are a accounting firm, and we need to send audit instructions to EI, the component auditor.
Okay. What needs to be included in them?
Please include independence confirmation, materiality, type of work to be performed by the component auditor, identified significant risks, and audit and accounting policies to be applied, etc. I'll find an audit instruction template and email it you.
Is it enough just to prepare the audit instructions, send them over and retain them after getting a response?
I'm afraid not. We need to assess whether procedures the component auditors have taken are sufficient and reliable upon receiving them. In other words, we are group auditors, and as Component B is a very significant one, we should perform an assessment whether proper audit procedures have been taken. Thus be considered as sufficient and appropriate audit evidence.
Okay. First, I'll start going over the template once I get it. We'll prepare a draft and let you see it.
Good. I'll send you the audit instruction template as well as the contact point of component auditors including their email and phone number. Let me know once you're done with the draft. When do you think you can have it finished by?
Hope to have it finished by tomorrow afternoon. Would that be all right?
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 18. 재고실사 2회 사전 준비.
Hello, you must be Rachel, right? This is Minho Park from Best Accounting Corporation. I'm calling to share some details on the attendance at physical inventory counting scheduled in the morning of January 2nd.
Hello, Minho. I was expecting your call. The physical inventory counting is to begin at 10 a.m. on January 2nd. Planning of the counting is nearly finished and I'll be able to send this over to you in about 2 hours.
Great to hear that. Would you be able to provide me with the inventory list on that day?
Sure. I'll be ready to provide you with both the list as of December 31st after closing and the list as of morning of January 2nd.
There will be a difference between those two lists due to the moving inventory. Is it possible for you to come up with the changes of inventory between the two dates?
Yes. I'll log on to the ERP system in the morning of January 2nd and we'll have the list of changes in inventory ready. Could you please remind me of that on your way to us that morning? You may call me or leave me a message.
No problem at all. I'll be able to make it to your office by 9:30 a.m. on the January 2nd. I'll call you on the way.
Good. See you in a few days' time, then. Happy New Year.
Hope you have a happy new year too, Rachel.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 19. 재고 실사 2회 실시.
This is the physical inventory counting list provided by the client. And I want you to perform test counts by selecting the items that have large values on the list and then physically finding them. I'll physically count some inventory and look them up on the list.
There are roughly 8,000 items on the list, and is it possible for us to go over all of these today? The physical inventory count is about to start at 11 a.m. and the client also wants to have lunch with us.
Oh, Mr. Kim wished to have lunch together with us. I guess we need to ask to be excused and grab lunch a bit late. Well, you don't have go over 1,000 items. We're performing a test count and on a sampling basis, which means that only going over about 30 items would be enough. In order to gain comfort on existence, you should perform test count on 30 items on a list to floor method. Whereas I'll be doing the test count on 30 items on a floor to list method to gain comfort on completeness.
Okay. I'll be quick on this and won't be late.
Being quick is good. But it is more important to open up the boxes by yourself to check if there are any bad ones inside. There may be damaged or returned inventory in them.
I see.
This document shows the details of the inventory quantity in and outflow, and was printed out by the client this morning logging on to the ERP system. We may start from this list we obtained today, January 2nd, roll back by adjusting the in and outflow quantities, and check if they agree to those on the inventory list as of December 31st. Let's work on that later in the afternoon after returning to the office.
Alright. I'll start performing test counts now. We'll get back to you in about an hour, and let you know how I'm doing.
I also asked for the list for the inventory kept in Suwon warehouse, and let's request a confirmation from the third party in Suwon once we get that list from the client here.
Sure.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요. 20. 금융실사.
It's December 31st today. May I take a look at the cash balance? Guess it was prepared this morning.
Sure. I have the cash balance and the portable safe box ready for you. Let me open this up. As you see, petty cash amounts to 407,400 Korean won, 6 bills receivable, and the unlisted equity security on our corporation amounting to 1 billion Korean won.
Right. Hold on a minute please. Let me count them by myself.
Let me go to the bathroom for a minute while you're on it.
Excuse me, but could you go to the bathroom in a couple of minutes? It'd be nice if you could stay here with me while I'm counting these. It may get awkward if the amount doesn't agree.
Oh, I see. I'll just stay put.
After a while. Now I'm done. Everything seems to be fine, but one bill receivable seems to have fallen due. Its maturity was December 27th and hasn't it been collected yet?
I'm afraid not. The debtor is Ing Corporation and it's hard to get hold of the person who's in charge. I guess he's busy. I'm going to call him again later. We'll try our very best to have it collected within the first week of January.
Yes, hope it works out well. Could you show me the golf membership by the way? I might have seen it last year, though.
No problem. I kept it under the safe box. There you go.
Right, it looks same as last year. Well, that seems to be about it. I just finished this cash and other financial assets counting sheet and may I please have your signature at the bottom?
There you go.
Appreciate your time and see you soon.
회계 재무세무에 특화된 영어를 학습하실 분은 유저씨 마켓을 방문해 주세요.